Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Larry. I never got a chance to make it back out here until now to get the rest of this cemetery done. I told you across from that school, Pleasant Valley School that I did. So it took a little bit, but between a lot of stuff going on, I never got a chance to make it back out here. And like I said in that first video, my phone died out on me. It was at 13%, and it just totally went kaput. And then I tried to come out here 2 more times actually after that, and there was too much noise. There was tractors all over the place out here across the way, and they were making a bunch of racket. So I figured there's no sense of trying with them being out here. It would have been just, I don't need much background noise. Everything's bad about the background noise from the highway out here. By the way, I did look when I was coming back out this way. This is 75 South, 8 miles outside of Yates Center, Kansas. I wanted to make sure I told you right the first time. I'm pretty sure I did, but I just wanted to let you know that's the way it is. It's 8 miles south on 75, or somewhere around, let's say, let me see, think for a second here, ladies and gentlemen. 16 miles north from Chanute. I'm not sure what that one highway is, but I know once you go on 75, you go north towards the center, and it's actually, once you get on 75 highway north, off of, I believe it was 39, and I believe it's west. Then you come down, like I said, it's something like 6 miles from that direction, and it is right there on the, would be on the right. Come from the center, it's on the left. Anyhow, I can't remember which stone I did. I think I did the ones on the backside here when the phone died. The Stoll family. So I'm gonna start from this one. I believe this is the one I should be at. Anyhow, this says Taylor on it. James W. It looks like he was in the military. It looks like it was some sort of, I think I'm KY, I think means Kentucky infantry, maybe. It's 1824 to 1901. I'm not sure what war happened back at that time. I'd have to look it up, but it might have been the one of 1876 or a little prior to that. But anyways, he lived until 1901, and then his wife was born in 1848, died in 1933. So yeah, and this stone's actually a pretty good deal. There's not any grass all over it like the other ones. Let me see. This is Roush Albert F. 1868 to 1926. Sarah J. His wife 1876 to 1936. So as the proof shows, back then women sometimes lived a little longer than guys. Just how it was. But it looks like this one doesn't have a lot of grass on it. And I think what it is, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why there's not grass on some of these is because they're higher off the ground. So the lower ones are the ones I have to wipe the grass off of. But there's this one here. And then we walk down for a minute, or at least 30 seconds. Like I said, this is a small cemetery. This is not big at all. I didn't count exactly how many are out here, but they're all spread out, and there's maybe 40 of them, maybe, if even that. But is these two here? Can't tell what's on it because it's faded. It looks like it was February 2nd, 1899, maybe. I really can't tell. Like I said, these are faded, so these were obviously cheaper stones at the time, and plus it says a long time, just over 100 plus years or so. And then we come up this way, and this time, a lot of the gentlemen, I guarantee you my phone will not die. I actually make sure it's charged while I left the camper. It was at 100%, so I'm not gonna have that problem again. But here's Darst. JJ Darst May 21st, 1849. July 31st, 1924. Addie V, his wife, 1858, 1932. So, yep. And like I always say, rest in peace to all these people I'm doing this videos on. This one I might have already did. If I did repeat some of these, I'm sorry, but I think I kind of went crisscross on the cemetery, so if I did, I apologize if I get the same stone twice. But I think I might have got this one when I first walked in here, and I might have even got that one that I just did. I'm not sure. But actually looking at this one, I don't think I necessarily did this one because there is grass on it. And I would have wiped that grass off of it. So yeah, there's grass behind it, so I think I might have seen it, but I don't think I actually did it. Because all these stones that I do, I wipe the grass off the stones. So, but anyhow, this Nora A. Buell, 1984, 1943. Like I said, when it comes to the husband, Oswald, I'm thinking possibly he was buried some other place. That's the only thing I can figure, because I don't see why there wouldn't be the last digits on this stone. All it says is 1881 to 19 and no other spot. So I'm thinking, I know sometimes when people do go, they don't always put the numbers on it. They end up getting buried with nearly husbands, wives, whatever the case may be. Or the family decided to put them some other place. I really couldn't say, but. And then let's see, we'll come up here. Claire O. Frank, 1911, 1932. She wasn't that old, she's only 21 years old, and that's, I doesn't say an actual month, so I couldn't be sure, but let's say 20 or 21, but she didn't live very long, let's just say. That's, yeah, not old at all, barely an adult. Francis Orban of Harry Frank, 1886, 1922, so he did not exactly live a whole long time either. And since it's only him here, I'm assuming. Okay, she's the one who died. I'm sorry, I'm getting this confused. He's the one. Francis Orban, wife. Okay, yeah, the wife died, and it says husband. So obviously she was buried here, and she wasn't that old either. She was only about 24, so yeah. And then there was a deal at the bottom here. It says she is not dead, but sleepy or sleepish or something. I can't really tell because some of it's faded, but yeah, obviously he probably got buried some other place. That's how it was back then. Olive Ruth. Noel, I guess is how it's said. Apologize if I mispronounced that, but some last names I can't always pronounce. But this person thought they lived a long life. Heck, one more day and they would have been, let's see here, 88. Would have been 81. Yeah, 81 years old. One more day is all this lady would have had to live, and she would have made it to 81, which is pretty good. Mildred R., daughter of R.S. and Susie E. Orban, 1917 and 1920. Girl only lived to be 2.5 years old. That's just horrible. She didn't live as long as she should have. And this is mostly on the ground, so I mean, I'll try to wipe some of this off, ladies and gentlemen, but most generally, if it's too far on the ground, I'm not sure if I can reach down that far all the time, but anyhow, Pandit Naomi Orban and Leslie E. I'm assuming Naomi is possibly the husband of Leslie. I mean, it says married, so I'm sure it is. But yeah, that Naomi lived to be like 90 something, 93, I think, if I'm reading that right, somewhere around 92. And Leslie almost lived to be 100 too. Come about 3 more years, and that Leslie would have been 100. So yeah, they lived up in their high 90s, so they lived pretty good long time. This says, let me see, Orban. Susie E. Orban and Raymond S. Orban, 1892 to 1936. Raymond S. 1886 to 1942. I mean, they didn't actually live a long time either. Well, I can't really say that. Raymond actually did. Susie, not so much. Susie was only in her 40s, so, which is just sad right down the line. Here's another Orban. Trying to compare these stones, ladies and gentlemen, to see what's what here. Martin's Nora, his wife. So I'm sure since these are both here, they're probably related somehow. I just can't tell because of the years. I mean, that Susie and Raymond could be the kids of this one over here. There's Martin S. and Nora. Just judging by the years and everything. Not saying it is, but I'm thinking it could be just because of the years, though. Nora, actually, if that was his kids, at least one of them on that Orban one, she managed to outlive the one. Yeah. So, apologize about the traffic, ladies and gentlemen. That's one thing that stinks about being near a highway. I don't know how much it's just picking up on the noise, but, and unfortunately, me being a camper, I don't have equipment to edit out anything severely, so until I eventually figure something out down the road. Evans, I think that's supposed to be Olive Marie and Edgar Evans, 1918 to 2006. So she definitely lived a pretty good long time. And then the Edgar, he still lived pretty good, 60 something. Somebody's coming down the road, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna mess around with these people either, so they better just keep going. Some farmer. Telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, if anybody tries to ever stop and say anything to me, we're gonna have a problem, because I don't listen to mouth or anything else. So I'm doing what I need to do, and people just need to mind their own P's and Q's. But anyhow, this is Evans, Bertha A, Arthur B. Arthur managed to outlive his wife by about 5 years, but then he was born a few years later or so. And then Porter, mother and father. I don't see any other stones with that name on it, so maybe this is a place that maybe buried back then. I mean, back then, I'm sure we're talking about a long time ago. These roads probably didn't even exist either. It was probably all gravel or dirt. So I'm sure this is probably a booming area maybe back at that time. Like I said, there's that school over there. So as we know, as time went on, these towns kind of faded out a little bit, along with some of these cemeteries too. But yeah, 1851 to 1931. About 80 years old, 79, 80. Like I said, some of these don't have months on them, so I can't tell. But then 1847 to 1920 on the father. And quite frankly, I think they can do a little better on mowing this grass too, instead of leaving it the way it is. Stop throwing grass on people's stones too. That's how you can tell. You can tell whoever does this stuff doesn't care. They just want the money. Now let's see here. I'm not sure how to pronounce their names. I'm not going to try. But it says Catherine R. Joseph S. February 9, 1935. Died 1915. April. Catherine. It says mother and father. So obviously this is somebody's parents. Dad 1834 to 1912. So they didn't die too much difference from the wife. This one, I can't even see anything, ladies and gentlemen. It's it's badly wore out and everything. Quite frankly, if I had the money and the resources, excuse me, I would actually find out who's the families of some of these stones are that are wore, and I would go ahead and replace these stones and put some fresh ones. Actually, going back to the one before that, ladies and gentlemen, I almost forgot. There's one here. They did have a son, actually. I didn't even notice that until it's kind of flat, but infant son of CK and JL. Born March 22nd and died April 3rd. So rest in peace to him. He lived. I didn't even have a chance. Obviously, he went pretty quick. So that one's wore out. This one, Marge Kelly, or Margaret Kelly. Let me phrase that, ladies and gentlemen. Margaret Kelly, born 1817, died 1902. So she lived pretty good. 80, says 85th year, so she's 85 years old. So she's definitely lived pretty good for that time. And then move on to the next one. Already 17 minutes into this video. I mean, everybody knows that if somebody does see, sometimes they do run long, sometimes they don't. Looks like it says Gladys D and Henry or another. It says 1908, but I can't tell the death date because it's faded. So it's another stone that's faded out too. And like I said, a lot of family doesn't even come out and see these people after they pass. It's just sad. I saw some videos where they said after a few decades, family just doesn't even care anymore. They don't even go see their great grandparents or loved ones or vice versa, which is just sad, quite frankly. But let's see. Carl H. Miller, September 22nd, 1829 to September 5th, 1914. I'm not sure how to pronounce the names. I'm not going to try to on this stone either, but it says October 31st, 1840, November 6th, 1916. I can barely see that 6, but it's there. So, yeah, they live pretty good long lives too. So that is why I try to do these too, because I'm interested in how long some of these people lived for that time, because as we know, back then there was no medicines or no really monitoring anything, and so it's just interested seeing this. Says Monta Fuller is all I can tell. I can't tell anything else. It says 1906 was born. I can't tell the death date because it's faded too. That's why I said some of these stones really need replaced and upgraded or something done. I've never Yeah, this could be a relation to that one down there, ladies and gentlemen. It says Cyrus Fuller, 1854 to 1915. So this could be a possible... It could be the mom, or not the mom. It's a Cyrus, which, I don't know. People had some names back then. It could be the dad. It could be the mom. I don't know. But it's probably a relation to that one I just showed you that has a faded stone. This one here actually is held up a little better, so I think it just depends on, as we know, back then people didn't have a lot of money sometimes, so it all depends. Also, there's wolf on that one, and it looks like it says April of 1912. Don't quote me on that because it's faded out too, so I really can't tell a whole lot on this one besides the wolf sticks out because it's more engraved. I don't know if people put bushes around here, but there's definitely some bushes around some of these. Benjamin N, 1884 to 1945. And Elizabeth E, March 26, 1886 to 1954. So they lived a pretty good long time for that time frame. Pringle, James Richard Pringle. August 6, 1932 to May 3rd, 2005. And that obviously was the husband. I'm sorry if this phone moves around some, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm trying to wipe this grass off. I mean, they just blow the grass on here and just don't even bother trying to wipe it back off or anything. And judging by that, it looks like this guy was in the military too. There's a thing on the back side. I'm not sure what it says, but come around and look. See, all it says is a U.S. veteran, ladies and gentlemen. It's right here. Shit. Sorry about that. My body's kind of blocking the view some. Shadow over it. But anyhow, this is Pringle. Like I said, he lived a pretty good long time too. It says his wife Mardell Sue, she's still alive is what it's saying on this one. It says she's born in 1935, so yeah, like I said, wives seem to live longer sometimes, it's just how it is. But this one, A.B. Elliott, March 14, 1868. And Christina, his wife, 1880 to 1917. So she only lived to be like 37. It's his mother and father. But for some reason, the father was possibly never put here because there's no death date. So it could be another one of the deals where he's buried some other place or was never done. And this one I almost missed. Helen Rue, July 19th, September 17, 1917. So, yeah, this Helen Rue didn't live very long. Obviously, according to what I'm seeing on this one on the ground. Only, what, about a month and a half. Simons, it says it up top there, but the actual stone itself, I can't see nothing. It's faded. No Simons, but this one here is a little more recognizable. It looks like the lettering was put out a little more. Flora Bell, wife of Perry Simons, 1852 to 1923. So, yeah, she lived a fairly good amount of time. And then Perry's over here with a different stone. And obviously, they decided to do separate stones. And he actually lived a few more years. He was born in 1851, died in 1931, so he lived a little bit longer. But that's this side of the cemetery. Peace to all those people. There's not a whole lot left, ladies and gentlemen. We're about down to the grassy knolls of this. Actually, there's a sign out front. I'm going to go into this video of that too. I think it says exactly what the school says. This is Pleasant Valley. Yeah, it says Pleasant Valley. It's over there. This is another Pringle. Obviously, not a lot of grass on that one, surprisingly. Let's sure get a lot more grass, but there's not. But anyhow, this says, try not to put my shadow on the front of these, but sometimes depends on which way they're angled. Scott L and Mark R. It says L Scott actually, but these are sons actually, ladies and gentlemen, that could be related to one of the ones back there. But I don't know, there's two here. This is Pringle, so I mean, there could be a couple of different ones with that name on it. But obviously, these people look like they might have liked music and cars, because there's a car and a guitar on there, and there's also an airplane that's over there, but it's faded like severely. But I can tell now, I just saw that as a plane. But Scott died in 1995, which would have been, he'd have been 39. Yeah. And I'm assuming K, I don't know what the KS means totally. I guess it means Kansas, and then the NN might be died in New Mexico. I really don't know. The one says Mark R, he's still alive, 1958. Oh. And this one here, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what the heck's going on with this. There's a tree growing up over the top of this one. That just doesn't make any sense why there's even a tree there. But this says Nelson L. Pringle, 1933 to 2021. So that could have been possibly the parents, I'm guessing. I'm not really sure, but it says Nelson L. Pringle. And the one I just showed you before that, I just realized there's stuff on the back too, which is mom and dad. Andrew Lauren, which is still alive, according to this, February 17, 1930. Got married May 10, 1953. Ruth Ann Canty, March 10, 1930. Died January 20, 1913. Or 2013, excuse me. And, yeah. And it says mom and dad. So that's obviously the parents are the ones on the other side of this. This one, I don't know. I'm trying to, as you can tell here, there's a big tree right here. I don't know if the tree's supposed to be here or not. I mean, maybe it's supposed to be, but I have never seen a I've never seen a cemetery with a thing over the top of it. And this says Doreen Pringle. I'm trying to get as best as I can, ladies and gentlemen. This is not even, I don't even know why they didn't cut this back. I have to come out here one day and do that myself, but Doreen Pringle, March 18, 1935 to March 2nd, 1996. So Doreen went a little sooner. I'm guessing that's probably the husband on the other side, possibly. Oh, damn, it's hot out here. And we're winding down here. Darn birds. I'm not gonna go through all the shit of trying to get this thing apart or whatever, get this door open, but this presented to the Pleasant Valley Cemetery Association by George Cock Jr. This I'm sure used to be the caretakers thing, which a lot of people know. There's not really a lot of caretakers anymore, and it looks like stuff they took off of the cemetery when they mowed it, they just threw it down there naturally. Oh. So the sign's over there. It says Pleasant Valley. I'm not gonna walk all the way over there though. It's getting a little hot out here. But that's all you gotta look for is that. It's right across from the school. And here's that name again. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. I'm not gonna say it, but father and mother, Frank W. 1864 1949. Mother, Jeannie E. 1862 to 1942. And during the summer, ladies and gentlemen, it gets hot out here, so sometimes it's like that sun blaring, so that's why I'm kind of cutting it down a little bit. I'm walking maybe more than I have to. A couple of planters here. I don't know if there's supposed to be anything in those planters, but judging by this, I think this is a whole family deal here. I'm not sure what the name actually is. It says Poole on these two. So obviously that's got to be the last name. John W. Poole, 1865-1950. Nellie M. Poole, 1866-1949. Myrtle R. Shady. I'm not sure how to say that. I mean, I'm sorry. I can't always pronounce last names, but I don't see them a whole lot. But October 8, 1883 to August 13, 1978. Lady actually passed. Let's see. 11 days after I was born. So, so there's her there. I'm gonna walk around the other side in a minute and wipe that little grass off the top of there. And then there's a William, which I'm pretty sure is the husband. It said he actually managed to outlive her a little bit. So he was born 1900. So December 16, 1900 to February 1st, 1881. So he lived a pretty good long time too. I'm going to try to wipe some of this grass off before I leave from here, because this is just ridiculous. Right down the line. They would even leave stuff on these stones like this. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the whole gist of it. This is the cemetery. Like I said, it's not big at all. And this front row only has those few, so... And judging by some of those, like I said, I think the newest marker, if I'm remembering right, is that one over there, that Clark, Best Friend from High School's dad. The rest of these are fairly older ones, so I don't think they really bring their family out here too often. They probably got other place they put them. But that's it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. So, hope you enjoy the video. And hit the like button if you liked it, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Like I said, I try to do what I can, but my job kind of throws me in a loop also. I work at a Casey's General Store, so, and that's why one of the reasons why I asked the manager to put me on 4 a.m. to like 10 to 12. So I have the rest of the day to do more, because before this, he had me working right in the middle of the day, which is actually has to be doing today, working 10 to 4. So I figured before I went in this morning, I'd go ahead and come out and try and finish up the rest of this one, hoping there'd be no trackers out here making a bunch of racket. Like I said, I'm sorry about the getting videos of different other things, but I'll turn the phone so you actually see me instead of the everything else the phone's seeing. But yeah, like I said, if you like it, hit the like and subscribe button. But yeah, if I ever get a better setup, I can probably do this a little easier. I do have one of those pole things with the phone on, which I did on my very first video when I lived in a house, but since I'm in a camper now, it's just hard to do a whole lot. I mean, anybody in the camper's from 1972, so it's not big at all. It's like really small, and yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try to, like I said, probably not today. I mean, I might try to get another video in today, but I'm not counting on it because I get off at 4. My fiance's back in the hospital. She's supposed to get out today, supposedly. I don't know what's going on with that yet. We made an arrangement where she's supposed to go to the place for a little bit to get fixed up a little more because she has some health deals. But it's just, yeah, my life's just all on one big swirl. So I'm trying to get out of that swirl and try to get some more videos done for you all and get them uploaded. And at least here in the next couple of days, the temperature is supposed to drop around here in like 70s, low 70s, so it won't be such a toaster oven like it is right now with that sun blaring on me. But anyhow, that's it, folks. So I'm gonna get ready to sign off, and I'm gonna head back towards my job and get ready for that, and hit the like, subscribe button, like I said. And I will be uploading this later today. I might try it on my phone. It all depends, because it does drain my phone down, and I don't know if I'll be able to get it charged because the district manager is supposed to be at the place. The manager itself don't care if I use their charger from the office, but the district manager, I don't know about with that. But let y'all know now, folks, I might end up having more videos eventually, uploaded more. If you see me uploading a lot more, then you'll know my job went south, because I had a problem yesterday there that I'm not going to get a whole lot into, but just to say, there's young people working there, and they lied on me and things that never did happen and this and that, and I don't know how much longer I'm going to be there anyways, because I don't want to hear about this was said, da 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 da, when it wasn't said. So so if you start seeing more videos, we'll let y'all know in the videos too if that job got axed. I mean, I've been there since May, and I like it, but I'm not gonna deal with the mess either. So I'd rather be out doing YouTube videos or doing something more than putting up with that. So, and I am retired technically, so I don't need to put up with them anyhow. So anyhow, that's it, folks. I'm gonna get off here. I'm getting toasted by the sun blaring on me. So I will talk to you next video. Have a good day.